All right, everybody. Sorry about that. About to get started. Audio was wonky, but I solved it. All right. Almost up. One more moment. Hold on 1 second. Cool for a second. All right. Almost there. All right, let's get started. Give me 1 second. Why do I always have to restart the? How is this? Why in the world do I have to? Hold on, let me get. I'm gonna bring the chat room in for this one. Just some little pieces of software, while they're very helpful, have this weird like. I don't think you actually meant it when you opened me up and you wanted me to be on the screen I was on before. I think you want a totally different screen. I'm just gonna. Trust me on this, it's going to be a great time. And then my Elgato Stream Deck just decides to open with a whole slew of other buttons. It doesn't matter. It's not your problem. It's not. It's just when I stare at it, I'm like, this is some bullshit. We see through it. It can be a bit rough. Hi, operator error. How dare you, sir? How dare you? How can you even? Welcome to Houseparks Megaworldwiide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, etc., etc., etc. Yes, it is definitely. It's a. Hey, Trevo, what's going on? What's happening? Did it silently update? It did not. I'm all good with it with the quiet updates. That I do have a problem with because like I said, I beta test on other computers. I have the beta OS for Mac on my other devices, but not on this one. This one, we wait till we're all clear. And this one decides, I guess it's like, okay, if you want me to be behind, I'll be behind, right? You know, you like things not working? Well, they didn't work before, so to hell with you. To hell with you. So you cooked up the story and you dropped the sixth of us into the meat grinder. No Facebook? We should be, but it could be being weird. Let's see. Checking. Nope, looks like we're up on Facebook. In theory, there's like 60 people watching there right now. People are piling in, hitting the like, sharing the show, joining. We will first go overseas to the ASEAN conference. I'm sorry, the ASEAN conference. I mean the Asian conference that Trump went and met with, where he thinks he has created a peace deal between countries that weren't at war. But we're back to the UAE and Israel. Finally, peace between non-warring parties. And he just wants to add this to the pile because he can't get Ukraine done. So he's just going to walk around. I'm half expecting him to declare the war between, France and England that started in the 1400s to be over. Get to the chopper. Do this. Yes, sometimes the internet is full. That is a real fact. Undisputed. All right, so let's jump over to this guy real quick, if I may. And here's Trump. The title on this video was Trump gives amazing speech, or whatever, like the thumbnail on it. I can't get it to reload for some reason. But Trump gives incredible speech in Asia, blows people's minds. Let's see. Maybe he's found a way to, like, he's brought the magic, and he decided to do it in a conference room in Kuala Lumpur, or wherever they are. Yeah, they're in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Well, this is so exciting.
It is.
Because we did something that a lot of...
Yeah. Nothing's more exciting to him than things that he just does not feel like are exciting. So therefore, very important to say it's exciting. Just say it.
People said couldn't be done, and we saved maybe millions of lives on this one peace deal itself. And I'll tell you what makes me so happy is...
By the way, in all these situations, whatever fighting broke out, even if it's 100 people in a bar fight, the idea that somebody doesn't have a baby because they had an argument with somebody else and they might have fucked that night instead of punched each other in the face, and then babies, and then, throughout time from now till the time the sun eats the earth or goes out like a light bulb, billions, trillions of people could have been born from this one line that we protected. In theory, math-wise, it's dumb.
The two countries we're dealing with, and
move this over.
The third that helped so much, I appreciate so much. Maybe
what was their name again?
Done without you, but
who would that be? The other name. Also, huffing and puffing quite a bit. Are you sure you're not going to blow their house down?
They really like each other. I'm not used to that when I do these deals. Usually, there's a lot of hatred. They liked each other. So
yeah, it's because you were there to do a trade deal, not a peace deal, and your gelatin brain just can't figure it out.
It made it a little bit easier, but millions of people are alive today because of this peace treaty.
They are?
So before I begin,
Sorry, are they signing the India-Pakistan deal?
To extend our deepest condolences to the Prime Minister, Newton, as well as His Majesty, the King of Thailand, and the entire nation on the passing of Her Majesty, Queen Sirikhet, the Queen Mother, and a beautiful, incredible woman who...
Do they call her the Queen Mother? England does. I think he just thinks that's what you call a queen.
Was so respected all over the world, actually, respect.
Yeah. Nobody respects her. I mean, ISIS probably not huge fans. But everywhere else, obviously.
I know the people of Thailand will remember her forever as the embodiment of dignity, kindness, and grace. This just happened. But this is a woman who was so loved and respected. Today we honor the memory.
You're right. I take it back. This is lightning. This is probably one of the most forceful. Move over, MLK. This is the kind of vibrant alpha male Andrew Tate on steroids and crack. Sure, I don't know. Let's use a late '80s stand-up reference. This is nobody has shit on this guy. Like, well, maybe he paid somebody to do it in Russia, but
by bringing the blessing of peace to the nation she dearly loved. She loved this nation like few people love their nations. This is
really. What was it? A reach around? What was the technique? I just want to know. Inquiring minds. Is there video?
A momentous day for all of the people of Southeast Asia as we sign a historic...
Oh, thank you for clarifying.
Agreement.
I thought you were the Southeast, Wilmington, North Carolina. It's a different vibe, I think.
To end the military conflict between Cambodia and Thailand.
Finally. Done. Because that's been, it's been a firefight. Like, these two countries have been warring with each other since,
And we're so honored to be involved in that. It's so important to me. Two great countries, but they were going at it.
Oh, well, maybe they learned something from their queen. They were going at it, hot and heavy. Did they get to third base? Going at it. Yeah. Is that, would you describe any kind of like warring countries that way? I got to tell you, Bosnia and Herzegovina and, like that whole thing, Armenia and Azerbaijan, man, they were going at it.
I want to congratulate the two.
Germany and Poland, man. Like, get a room.
Courageous leaders, and that's what they are. They were courageous.
And leaders, apparently, according to the paper.
Who are taking this monumental step. Prime Minister Hun Manet and Prime Minister Newton.
Oh, man. Just barely getting... You can hear him afterwards kind of do this.
I also want to thank Prime Minister Anwar of Malaysia. I called him right at the beginning. And Prime Minister Newton. I also want to thank Prime Minister Anwar of Malaysia. I called him right at the beginning and I said, you have two countries that are fighting right next to you.
And if you can get him to stop, I'll pay $500 million in aid. It's not my money, it's the taxpayers. Fuck them. And I'll fly down here and take credit. Is that cool? Cool.
We need a third place. We need a sort of a neutral place, right? And he was there, and I said to him, if we get this solved, I'm coming to your country. And I told the truth, didn't I? A lot of times they say that, and that's the last you ever see. But I felt I had an obligation to come because you were so great. And
no, because you want to take credit for the work they did.
The men alongside of you are so great. Historic figures now. Really.
Right, because they did all this without you.
Historic figures. So I felt it was an obligation I had. I told it to you. That was about a year ago. And all of this has taken place. It's been so beautiful to see. It had started, and there was a lot of killing. And then when we got it stopped very quickly in this case.
Quickly. A year, was it?
Some we did in 32 years. It took 32 years to get them stopped. They were fighting for a long time. This was very nasty, but it was stopped very quickly before it started.
Oh, well, that's the way to do it. Stop it before it starts and then take credit for stopping something that never started. It's genius if you really think about it. Chat room, hi, what the fuck? What? Sorry. We stopped it before it started, and I want credit for how many people could have been killed if it had started before it stopped. And they've been going at it for a long time. They were going at it hot and heavy. One of them was in the undercarriage, and the other was doing the overhand. It was sad. And then before they even got to second base, we pulled the plug. Good Lord.
The two leaders have great respect for each other. But
so much respect, they stopped a fight they didn't even start. It takes a tremendous amount of maturity to even think that through.
Prime Minister played a very important role in helping convene the two sides for discussions here in Kuala Lumpur. Earlier this year, an armed clash broke out along the border of these two countries. Really ancient countries by...
Have you seen their architecture? It looks old.
Most standards. They've been...
By most standards. What standards would that be? You mean like Tibetan, or we're talking like early Persian Ahura Mazdas type shit? Neanderthal? What do you mean? All right.
Long time. Tremendous.
That is true. It is. They have been around for a long time. That is true.
Cultures, resulting in numerous deaths and thousands of people displaced from their homes. It was starting because...
And then it stopped.
Of America's strong commitment to stability and peace in this region and every region where we can do it. My administration immediately began working to prevent the conflict from escalating. I held phone calls with both leaders. I was actually...
All right. Well, if you called them, I mean, obviously, like, they better not try and take credit if you were on the phone.
Turnberry in Scotland when I did this. and we had a lot of phone calls. The three of us and then the four of us. We had a lot
Right. So, like, what do you hang up? No, you hang up.
of phone calls. It was a beautiful day. I remember how beautiful it was.
Really? Do you remember the things discussed on the phone calls at all?
Turnberg is a great place, but I said this is much more important than playing around the golf.
Are you sure?
So we sat there all day long making phone
It sounds like he's still grumpy about it.
calls, and it was amazing the way it came together very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Really, very quickly.
Yeah, it's almost like it was stopped before it started, and it actually wasn't a thing.
You caused me very good entertainment. I could have had a lot of fun, but
You cost me very good entertainment. So you fucked up my golf day, but you know I'm okay with it.
this is much more fun for me than anything having to do with
I don't think so.
almost anything, because you're saving people and saving countries.
Yeah, saving lives is fun. That's how you look at it. Not important. It's just another version of fun. It's like slightly more fun than golf. Luckily for these people, or they'd be. It's to get better. You got you countries out there that are warring. You better start being exciting to talk to, and you better impress me and fillet me verbally, of course, on the phone. Or I'm just gonna go play golf, and you're dead, I guess.
But ask them to choose the path of prosperity and peace over needless bloodshed and war. At the end of July, after extremely productive discussions, we reached a ceasefire agreement. And now these gentlemen, and they really are gentlemen, high quality people, both went to college in the United States, and now these gentlemen
That's why he likes them, because he can understand them when they talk.
are about to sign what we're calling the Kuala Lumpur.
Sure, Kuala Lumpur, absolutely. It's a peach drink with vodka, and there's a piece of like a pineapple something in there. The Kuala Lumpur. It's. I wouldn't have one. I mean, if they had a mocktail version, I might try it or whatever. But I just feel like it's got instead of salt on the rim, they put roofies.
Peace Accords, good name.
Well, at least you can pronounce peace accords, I guess.
Both countries are agreeing to cease all hostilities and work to build good neighborly relationships, which have already started.
Even before they stopped.
18 Cambodian prisoners of war will be released, and under this agreement, observers from ASEAN countries, including Malaysia, will be deployed to make sure that the peace prevails and endures. And I have no doubt that it will.
Because it wasn't a war to start with?
We have another situation like that right now in the Middle East, and
Yeah, it's totally like that. And it's working out great.
Gaza, you might have read a little bit about Gaza.
No, I missed it. I guess I was. I mean, that like. I heard there was going to be a new season of Mindhunter maybe, so I was just busy like going back and watching the first two seasons for the 60,000th time.
And that's another one we're very proud of. But we have a lot of people watching that. A lot of people, I think.
Are they? They're watching it and going, well, that's fucked. I guess not.
This is a much different kind of a thing.
It is.
The two countries are getting along really well. Today, alongside.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Israel and the Hamas-run areas of Gaza. I mean, it's like if they go any further, someone's going to have to wear a condom. I'm just saying.
This peace treaty, we also are signing a major trade deal with Cambodia and a very important critical minerals agreement with Thailand. The United States will have a robust commerce and cooperation.
I'll try to do that as long as I can.
Transactions, lots of them, with both nations as long as they live in peace. And I really feel that when we make deals, we see two countries that we do a lot of business with. We do a lot of business with both of them. We have to use that business to make sure they don't get into wars.
Yeah, I think we have I don't know, it's called sanctions or something like that we have deployed. I wish somebody else had thought of this.
But this is going to be a very long peace. So as you know, this is one of 8 wars that my administration has ended in just...
Oh, okay, so this counts as one of them, the one that ended before it began. You're counting this. I only have one question. When did Albania attack Kuala Lumpur, and when will they stop before they start?
8 months. We're averaging one a month. There is only one left. Although I heard that Pakistan and Afghanistan have started up, but I'll get that solved very quickly.
Oh yeah, you will? By what? Cutting off Pakistan?
I know them both, and the Pakistan,
Really? They're good friends? You're good friends with the fucking Taliban?
the field marshal, and the prime minister are great.
Yeah, they're great. Those guys are fucking awesome. What was their names again? They're good friends of yours. What's his name? The guy with the hat and the other dude. What, you know his name? Yeah.
People, and I have no doubt we're going to get that done quickly.
Really? Based on what?
That one started up a few days ago,
Did it?
and I just feel it's something I can do. I do it nicely. I don't need to do it, I guess, but if I can take time and save millions of lives, that's really a great thing. I can't
Yeah, it's so much better than golf. Only barely.
think of anything better to do. But the 8 wars that my administration has ended in just 8 months, there's never been anything like that. Never.
Right. You mean presidents flying all over the country taking credit for peace deals they're not responsible for and pretending ones that they were involved in are insurmountable and will stick around forever, literally eternally? Yeah, no, nobody's ever been this full of shit.
There never will be either.
Right, because nobody's going to try and embarrass themselves like this ever again.
I can't think of any president that ever solved one war. I don't think anybody. They start wars. They don't.
Solved one. You can't think of one? You can't think of... can't... Not even the big ones, like World War II? Can't think of a president that... How about the Civil War? How about that one? Or how about the Revolutionary War? Does the president at the time ring a bell?
All of them. So nothing like this has been done in history, and it's an honor to be involved. On behalf of the United States, I'm proud to help settle this conflict and really develop good friendships, including people that work with each team. Look at these very distinguished people, except for my people. My people are much less distinguished, but they're very good. But look, my people understand the joke. But look at these very distinguished people, and I've gotten to know them. I want to thank Marco Rubio for being here, who's great. You always help. He's born for this job. He really was. He was born for this job.
Oh, I see. By the way, when he says Marco Rubio was born for this job, the
Secretary of State.
Yeah, Secretary of State. What he means is he doesn't need to go any further. People have a station in life. There are people who are born to be accountants, but they're not good enough to be rich. You know what I mean? Like, they're great at counting money, just not their own, you know? And Marco Rubio's one of those guys. Like, he was born to be Secretary of State and stop.
Jameson, thank you very much for all you did on helping too. He's the foremost expert on trade, and we're going to be doing another couple of
That's why it's going so well.
stops where we were talking about no war, just pure trade. We'll be talking to President Xi in a day. We'll be stopping at Japan. We'll be stopping at South Korea, and we'll be doing some other things, but they're more related to trade. But on behalf of the United States, I'm proud
Jesus Christ.
to help settle this conflict and forge a future for the region where proud independent nations can prosper and thrive, safety, security, and peace. It's an amazing thing that's happened to the United States.
By the way, when he does this whole, like, I'm going to break from the script because I'm bored reading and it's difficult, and he does this kind of, like, he does the toddler waddle, but he also does this, like, all right, I'm shaking off the script. I'm going to say something from the cup, off the cuff. I'm just shooting from the hip right now, ladies and gentlemen. And you'll see that little movement. And there used to be, in theory anyways, anecdotes to follow or something personal or whatever. Let's see.
Because a year and a half ago, we were a dead country. We were actually a dead country, and now
we were not a dead country. We had best unemployment numbers we've had in ages, and
the hottest country.
Actually, inflation was lower than it is now.
Anywhere in the world. And when I called you, we were in the process of becoming hot. It's actually quite a while right
We were in the process of becoming hot. What were you getting your tits done? Like we were a toss-up on the hot or not TikTok trends, but now we're definitely like, I think we got it together. It's all the mewing I've been doing.
now, but we were sort of on our way. And we had won the election big in a massive amount. And so I was respected when I called you, and it was a little bit
Yeah. Not so much.
easier. I think it's easier when you respect somebody than if you don't respect somebody. If you don't
Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. Sometimes respect can get in the way, ladies.
respect somebody, it never happens.
This is just gibberish, by the way.
But I won't forget that day because it was one of the first wars that I got involved in. And I love doing it. It's like, I shouldn't say it's a hobby because it's so much more serious than a hobby, but it's something that I'm good at, and it's something I love to do. The United Nations should be doing this, but they don't do it. You know, they don't do it. They turned off my teleprompter when I made a speech. I had to make a speech without a teleprompter. They're good at
Yeah, that's why you're bringing paper everywhere these days.
that. The escalator wasn't working too well. It came to a complete halt.
Your videographer shut it off by pushing the stop button at the top because he was going to film you entering and didn't realize it won't start right up again.
But, I mean, the United Nations has such great potential. I wish they could do it. They didn't get involved with us at all. We just did the deal and reported the deal, and everybody was sort of amazed that we got it done so quickly and so nicely.
Yeah, before it even started. I mean, who could have thought? Like, wait, so real quick, do you have a time machine? And if so, why are you only using it for stupid shit? Like coming back from the future when you're older and appearing dumber every time.
But now I'd like to ask Prime Minister Anwar to say a few words, and then we'll hear from Prime Minister Hun Manet and Prime Minister Newton. And these are, I just have to say it for a last time, these are incredible men. The way they came together, the way they worked so hard, and we worked long hours. It was not long days because the days were few in number, but the hours were very long and very intense.
Well, they seemed that way because you were like, hey, can we wrap this up? I'm intending to golf still today.
There was a lot of intensity going on because there was a lot of shooting happening while we were talking. That brings it to
maybe because it was hard because you couldn't hear them.
New level. And the three men sitting there should really be credited with having done just an incredible job for you.
Yeah, they did all of it. We understand. Like, you just flew there to take credit for it so that you can use this amongst these other bullshit fake peace treaties as a way to avoid criticism about your ties to Epstein. We get it.
Humanity. Thank you all very much. It's an honor to have worked with you. Appreciate it. Please.
Yeah. So anyways, that's basically the end of it, I think. And then, yeah, he works his way. Trump and Lula, shocking turn, unexpected alliance. Okay, this is when they had their little meeting when he met with Lula. So that was before the ASEAN summit, where I showed the clip this morning. If you're watching the morning show, like it was like watching grass grow. It was like watching molasses run uphill in winter. Like, it was so slow and uncomfortable. Speaking of slow and uncomfortable, Rasmussen reports. Hit that like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks' Megaworldwiide. The GOP is outmatched and off the field while Trump fights alone. The base wants to drain the swamp and end corporate welfare, but their representation is asleep, according to Mark Mitchell, lead pollster at the Rasmussen Reports group and thing. People.
A peace plan for Gaza.
Didn't work.
For the plan to advance, Hamas must disarm. Instead,
tonight, terrifying images emerging from Gaza. Videos show
an ad
Muslim
before
gunmen carrying out a public execution as they return to the streets.
Hamas on a rampage, executing Palestinians. Bloody crackdown. spreading terror. For freedom, not terror, Hamas must go.
Paid for by LaPam.
Watch what peanut butter does to our body.
Celery with peanut butter. Peanut butter is one of the worst.
And you can see it popping up everywhere.
Oh, okay. So both of them are on. So this is, this is from Bannon's War Room. Okay, so all right, he's in the business right now of attacking Elon Musk and representatives in the House because they've got to sell this when you're selling a cult, there can be no bishops. You must denigrate and attack the bishops so that the Pope is the only pure source of the message from God because you're associated with him. And if anybody else gets, starts to rise up, they could usurp some of that power and you'll be on the outs. So you have an active place to play in a cult of making sure that none of the second tier people ever get, a shot at the crown or the brass ring. And so Bannon does this all the time with, shitting on Congress and the deep state and all this other stuff to make sure that there can be only one. The problem is that once Trump is gone, there's no backup plan. So I'm for it.
See what's going to happen this week when the EBIT cards get cut off. You can see what's happening in the streets of New York right
The EBIT? You mean the EBT cards?
now. And I don't think people are prepared or fully understand what's happening in New York. We've tried to explain it on the show since we identified Mondami as a threat to this country back in the when everybody in the world.
Yeah, but he's not responsible for why EBT cards won't have anything on them or why SNAP benefits are going to be cut off.
Said that he was going to lose in the primary, and we didn't. Alex DeGrasse, I might add, the most brilliant young man in Republican politics, is the first guy that told me this was going to be real back in like February, March of this year.
Man, he should just buy a crystal ball and set up shop in Hell's Kitchen, I think.
Talk to me for a second about populism, about where the country is, and particularly even like this coming weekend. So,
and also, what's it like to look like Greg Brady's stunt double most of the time?
Yeah, and I want to start with, I'm an independent pollster, and no party pays for me to try to get them to win. And so really who I'm looking out for is our subscribers, our advertisers, the people that we're trying to help, which is the American electorate, who quite frankly does not have a lobbyist on K Street.
But of course, the advertisers are going to pick your publication, your website, because they know what audience will go there. And if you were more generically open to everybody, then these hardcore right-wing advertisers wouldn't feel like this was a good place for them to put their money, and they'd rather go over and put it on, I don't know, TYT. And so in doing that, you do kowtow to them. You do have your own version of advertiser capture. I'm silly. This is fair and balanced, TM. Just don't let Fox hear you call it that, or they'll sue you.
We're really one of the few people that is measuring public sentiment and trying.
You're one of the few people that use the word "we" for themselves by themselves.
Say like, no, these people are not getting what they voted for over and over again, and everybody attacks us for it. Now, I'll say I often get accused of being a doomer about being.
No. I ever since he's been talking kind of honestly, because Trump can't run again and they've got to figure out a way to help Republicans get out of this mess, I've been enjoying their reports thoroughly. I don't consider this doom at all. It says GOP is outmatched and off the field while Trump fights alone. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Black pillar, and no, I'm not on your team. I'm on everybody's team.
Aw, thanks. You mind playing shortstop? Because yeah.
And so if I'm telling you bad news, it's because I'm looking at the data and saying things are bad. Now, if you want good news, you can look at the tactical picture, and the tactical picture isn't that bad. It's like, okay, Democrats are only up 2.6 on the Real Clear Politics generic ballot right now. They've only gained about a half a point since the shutdown started. And
so they have gained half a point since the shutdown started. They've gained since it started. Okay, and they haven't lost any? No, they've gained?
If you look at presidential approval of Donald Trump since the shutdown started, it hasn't changed at all. And of course, I predicted that because I said Americans
Because he's almost at rock bottom.
wanted the government shut down. But there was a rub. They wanted the government shut down if it was used as a hammer to get cuts in spending, which is it's not. And
Sorry, I'm just enjoying parts of this.
so maybe that will turn south. You just talked about the maps. Yeah, there's a lot of good reasons to expect that Republicans could outperform because of the shifts in the electoral maps.
But
Maybe the census coming up. And then there's the whole idea that, wow, Dominion just got sold to somebody that might change elections pretty massively.
oh yeah, you mean criminally?
But what I'm looking at is the strategic picture. And the strategic picture tells us the Republicans are hopelessly outmatched for what's coming, and they are not even on the battlefield. Donald Trump is, and I think the rest of Donald Trump's term, if he continues with what he's been doing, will be perceived to be successful by most people.
No, I don't think so. If it's not being perceived that way now, certainly not going forward. When especially things like the tariffs, for example, threats of them and pretending they exist, and then when they actually kick in, they get worse. And he's already got a bad rap because prices are going up, and this is before the tariffs kicked in. So if the tariffs kick in and the prices go up the way they're going up, and with the price rise caused by the tariffs, I'm sure he can explain to me how this will be good for Trump.
But I don't think that it's going to be adequate enough to give us the preference cascade that we need to get the majority of sane, high integrity people into elected office in order to correct the problems with our country. Quite frankly, we probably need 60 good people in the Senate, and that's not because of the filibuster limit. That's how many people we need to use the nuclear option because so many senators are corrupt. And so Republicans are sitting back and kicking their heels up. They're not even in session right now
Big jerks.
because the government shut down and they're just checked out.
It's terrible. Republicans are awful. You're right.
And Donald Trump's out there on the front lines fighting for the American people.
No, he's not. He's in Asia making business deals, not just for American corporations, but for himself.
Republicans are completely MIA. Now, we covered that most of America, 67%, supported draining the swamp.
Right. What's the percentage of people in that 67% that can describe what the fuck draining the swamp means? For real. What does it mean? Elevator pitch. Tell me, you're going to drain the swamp? Fuck does that mean? It certainly isn't what Trump's doing. There's no such thing as draining the swamp with Stephen Miller involved.
But there's a lot of other things that they support as well that people conveniently forget. 67%, same number, coincidentally, of Americans also support ending corporate welfare. And if you are perceived to be the party of big business, that's kind of a problem, which is one of the reasons that Republicans only lead by pretty small numbers on the issue of economic trust. But we have this new poll out.
And that's growing, by the way. That's not going to change, especially while Trump's in charge. He's proud of it.
And it's fresh off the press. And it's not good for Republicans. Generally
By the way, does anybody need me to stop so you can get more popcorn? Okay.
speaking, how fair is the U.S. economy today? There's three questions here. This is the first one. Only 18% say very fair. And that's brought up by 28% of Republicans who say very fair. Only 17% of independents. Only 12% of voters under 30. Only 23% of 30 to 39-year-olds. Somewhat fair and very fair among 18 to 30s only gets you to 35%. So like 1 in 3.
For the record, by the way, Trump runs on the idea that it shouldn't be fair. That's what this meritocracy talk is all about. It's not about fairness. What's fair to them is winners should win, losers should lose. That's fair. Now, the contest doesn't have to be fair because if you're smart enough to cheat, you're also a winner in your own category. And if you're too stupid to cheat, you're a loser. So at what point does the fairness concept even have a clear definition across parties? But even with that limitation, they still don't think it's fair. Now, one of the reasons why a lot of Republicans don't think the economy is fair is because too many minorities or women or whoever get a shot when they don't deserve it, along the lines of that Charlie Kirk thing about black pilots, right?
That's pretty low numbers. And I mean, a majority of Republicans say at least somewhat fair, but their party is in power correcting these things with tariffs and all of the deportations. But here's the key
Is that what it's doing? They're correcting the. I corrected her.
question. And you can quibble
You were the caretaker here, Mr. Grady.
about how we defined economic populism, but let me just read it and explain why we did it this way. Economic populism is a political and economic approach that emphasizes growth and income distribution, often opposing the perceived elites in favor of the interests of the common people. Do you agree or disagree that America needs more economic populism? So we
Also, do you agree with this definition?
purposely pit it as the common people against the elites, and 58% of America agrees with that, 32% strongly. Only 27% disagree, only 13% strongly disagree. But here's the thing, Republicans, 56% agree. Only 27% don't. So this is the thing. The big business chamber of commerce.
Sorry, let me get this straight. Let me back it up. So, Republicans are by and large pro-populism, and their populism is defined as the working class, the people who do all the work are in an adversarial situation with the elites who are top down, making sure that they can't succeed in the economy. And their leader is Donald Trump, and his economic advisors are Scott Bessent and Howard Nutlick. Sorry, so they're anti-elite. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I by no means believe that Trump is an elite. He's just a second-generation rich kid, and people forgot. He Peter Principled his way to the top of a bunch of shit.
Charles Koch, like all these folks, the Ken Griffins of the world, they want the Republican Party to be laissez-faire, hands-off capitalism, and support of capitalism is plunging. Gallup's got it down to only 54% favorable opinion of capitalism right now. Democrats overwhelmingly want economic populism, 67 to only 21. And independents, 50 to only 33%. 18 to 29-year-olds, overwhelmingly 63% agree more economic populism, only 24% disagree. And believe it or not, there's a pretty strong, across all age spectrum, a majority of everybody agrees with this, even the boomers. And women, slightly more than, men and women are about the same. So then this next question is the problem for the Republican Party.
Okay, all right, I'm excited. This next question is the problem for the Republican Party. Let's hear it. You guys excited? Me too.
Which party is the party of economic populism?
Which party is the party of economic populism? Because Democrats gonna party like nobody party because the Democrat Party don't stop.
And you could say, well, Donald Trump's in charge now, and people agree that the Republican Party is the party of Trump and the Make America Great Again movement. But unfortunately, the Republicans are a drag on Trump's agenda because Democrats are perceived to be the party of economic populism, 46% to only 26%.
He's quoting his own poll, Barbara Benstein, in our chat room. This is their own Rasmussen poll that they put out. He defined economic populism earlier in the clip. Oh, it's so good. Oh. And if you're for everybody, then why would you be distressed about this? That would be one of the things. Mark Mitchell, real quick. Here's a question. If you're nonpartisan, you're not hired by either party to support either party, right? You're not picking winners and losers. You're just trying to give people the facts and poll some stuff. Why would you be distressed that anybody's perceived one way or another? Just be like, this is the way people think. Why would you be upset that Democrats are perceived as the party of economic populism instead of Republicans? Why would that matter? Oh, because you're full of shit. That's why. And the great thing is, though, is that because you're paid to make polls, there are certain standards by which people will go, what question did you ask? I want to know how you worded that. And so you have to stick to some semblance of reality. And even then, your own poll is telling you that people can see what Trump is up to. You know what? Could be. I'm just spitballing here. Forgive me. You know what it could be? It could be all the fucking gold. It could be all the fucking, they've wanted a ballroom for 150 years. And that inside it looks like fucking Marie Antoinette's IUD. That's why. Maybe that's besides policy, which of course, who came up with SNAP? Who came up with S-chip? Who came up with Social Security? Who passed an Infrastructure Act? Who came up with the Chips and Science Act? How about the VA Choice Act? All Democrats. The ACA. Beyond that, beyond the fact that Democrats come up with all these populist programs, Trump is slathering everything in ostentatious bullshit, posting videos of him while people are getting increasingly hungrier, going golfing with his granddaughter, completely oblivious to what's going on in the real fucking world, and taking credit for fucking like peace deals that other people have been working on or that weren't even peace deals to start with.
Only 26%. Now, the good news is that 18 to 29s are roughly split, 35 to 33. So they're willing to give Republicans a chance on this.
Why is that good news? If you're nonpartisan, if you don't give a shit, if it's not about which party, that you're an independent, why would that be good news? Because of who you're talking to?
Everybody else disagrees, especially voters over 50. They're like, nope, Republicans are not the party of economic populism, only 20%. And Republicans themselves, only 46% say yes, 31% say Democrats. And independents say Democrats.
Wow. Sorry, a competitive number of Republicans say that Democrats are the party of economic populism. No wonder Mom Donnie scares the shit out of them.
41 to 18. And so I don't think they're going to be able to run away from this. We gotten into.
No. Hey, asshole, I got news for you. They don't want to. Republicans don't want to run away from this perception. They want to be the fucking elites, dummy. Why do you think they put an adjudicated rapist, a second-generation rich kid with a half a dozen bankruptcies in power, and then let him slather gold all over everything like he's prepping for the Second French Revolution? Because they want that. That's their idea of success. They're a bunch of nouveau riche douchebags. These are the same people who are broke-ass poor and yet don't want taxes on the rich to go up because in case they win the lottery, they don't want the government to take half.
Period where because.
By the way, half like money they would have never seen and is more than they can comprehend. If they won $50 million and they only get 25 of it, they're going to be butthurt about the 25 million they never fucking saw. If you can win $25 million, you can win $50 million, get to keep 25, and the rest of it goes to like schools and all the other shit that's what it's for, and you can be butthurt about it, maybe fuck you. Maybe you're not an economic populist. Maybe you're the crab trying to crawl out of the bucket.
Because of the unholy alliance of corporate welfare queens and the kleptocracy, the uniparty kleptocracy.
Why is it the uniparty? Democrats didn't raise the fucking debt ceiling $5 trillion in one fell swoop, asshole. We didn't have $1 trillion military budget.
Government's been captured. And I think Americans deep down.
Yes. Who runs all the branches? Who picked the majority on the Supreme Court? What the living shit?
Fundamentally know it. And I don't think that you're going to. Easy politics is over. We are not doing the things that are overtly aggressive enough in order to shift things back before I think the Republican Party becomes, a vestigial tale on the politics of America. They
Sorry, I've just that just washed over me. I'm sorry. I'm starting to chub. What? According to Trump's favorite pollster, the Republican Party is on the brink of becoming a vestigial tale. Wow.
And this explains Mamdani. Again, I don't think the left cares that he's a liar. They kind of probably like he's a Muslim because they've been told that DEI
Kind of like.
and diversity is our strength. But I think
What the fuck does him being a Muslim have to do with DEI? I mean, the diversity thing, maybe.
the biggest reason they're voting for him is because it pisses off the right. And what is such a debacle, it really makes me feel gross when I think about it, is
It's your third day in that golf shirt?
how quickly Republicans, conservatives, people, influencers came out and were begging Republicans not to vote for Curtis Leela, but instead to vote for Cuomo to fix the left's mess. The left brought this Mamdani guy in. And so
Why would that fix our mess? What the fuck are you talking about?
people think Cuomo's
We have a candidate. Cuomo ran as a Democrat and failed. He's running as an independent. What the fuck does that have to do with us? Democrats have a candidate. Everybody's behind the candidate. They don't have to like everything he does. It doesn't quite matter, but we have a candidate. It's not really difficult.
mass murderer. They think he killed all of these old people in the nursing homes. And yet they're willing to tell their supporters to vote for him, to literally sell out their own values. And
I'm sorry. I can say, I was like, why is he confused? And then I realized he actually thinks these motherfuckers have values. Mamdani will only have as much power as Eric Adams, de Blasio, or Bloomberg. Exactly, right. But, if he can start some pilot programs, he'll have a test environment to run these programs in one form or another with a tax base that could support them at least for a time to see if they actually work. Cool. Still not socialism, still democratic taxation, but call it what you want. They'll fearmonger and call it socialism, and I'm sure he will too. But it doesn't matter. That was just this guy is under the misapprehension that Republicans have values other than power and winning, I guess.
in order to bail out the leftists,
Nouveau douche is a great description word for it, Groove Dragon. Yeah.
they're going to
I think that's what we should call Trump's design style. Nouveau douche. That works.
usher this guy into the city. And quite frankly, I hope he burns Manhattan down, because I think they probably need to learn from this lesson.
What? Jesus Christ. So Mark Mitchell is an accelerationist. But for a slight twist of fate, he'd be blowing Tyler Robinson.
But here we are with Republicans again, completely. The voters
Under the belief system that they were accelerationists, for the record.
are hoping and expecting for accountability for COVID. And now here we are telling people to vote for Cuomo. It's unbelievable. Now, there's another story, and I think a lot of people probably didn't see it because it was in The Guardian. But I think this really drives home how completely ill-equipped and, quite frankly, playing for the wrong team the Republican Party is.
Oh God, this is can this be too good? I almost feel like I'm, we're blowing our load early tonight. This is By the way, for those of you just joining us, this is Trump's favorite pollster. This is Rasmussen and Mark Mitchell, primarily there, is the lead pollster there. This is the dude that Trump is like, okay, if I want a poll that blows smoke up my ass, this is where I go.
In this fight for restoring economic abundance, fairness, and justice to America, specifically justice. So we were talking about SNAP, and it's horrifying to think, like Alex Jones says, that we might be less than a few weeks away from a basically
The knife was too good.
Wait.
That's the only explanation I have for what happened next. They
From
thought
what?
I was a psycho. No, really.
Skip
A
ahead.
bugaloo, a purge, an astroturfed mass riot event, and I hope that doesn't happen.
Right. That's my favorite kind of dipshit concept from Alex Jones, is that he thinks there will be a grassroots astroturfed civil war. One starting the other. And nobody knows which one.
Part about this whole SNAP debacle that is gross to me is how much corporate welfare it is. People don't know this, but 25% of all SNAP spending goes to Walmart.
No, it doesn't. 25% of SNAP recipients shop at Walmart because it's the only fucking store. That's not the same thing. Walmart's not like pro-SNAP. As a matter of fact, if they believed these people would be off welfare and would spend more money, they're still the only store nearby. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's like 5 or 6% of their U.S. stores' revenue. It's a massive thing for them. And so if they lose this, it could be existential.
Imagine how it'll be for the fucking people who eat the food they buy there, you weirdo.
Might actually have to fire some of their super high-priced Indian H-1B engineers if that happens.
Ouch. Hey, look at that. Now I know why he's Trump's favorite pollster.
And people have estimated that Coca-Cola, between 10 and 25% of their U.S. stores, it's hard to know, they don't report it, is also from SNAP dollars. And there's this really good story in The Guardian. People should go check it out. The title is Inside the Republican Network Behind Big Soda's Bid to Pit MAGA Against the Make America Healthy Again movement.
Hold on. Jesus Christ. Guardian, Inside, MAGA versus Maha. Sorry. Guardian. Why did that do that? Inside, MAGA versus Maha, Coke, something like that. Inside the Republican network behind Big Soda's bid. Here it is. Get the fuck out of here. This is the article he's talking about. Oh, you dick. Quit it. Get out of here. Inside the Republicans network behind soda's big. Okay. Guardian investigation finds the U.S. soda and snack food industries threatened by RFK Jr.'s movement to change America's eating habits have turned to a group of well-connected strategists, shadowy pollsters. Oh, so he's mad he didn't get paid. I see. So he lost the Coke contract. Okay. And anti-woke influencers. You mean the same ones that are like sucking up Bud Light now that there's not a trans lady doing ads for them?
And this summarizes everything that's happened back in March when everybody realized there were big Twitter accounts like Clown World that sold out and took money from Influenceable to talk about how great it is that Donald Trump had a big Diet Coke button on his desk. And because of that, people who have transfer payments taken from me at the point of a gun are allowed to buy a luxury good when I'm trying to afford luxury goods for my kids, right? So
sorry, Coca-Cola is a luxury good. Soda is a luxury good.
Soda is a luxury good. And what it tells us...
Anything above gruel, I guess?
Really the worst part is it says that, well, Big Soda has this lobbyist group, the American Beverage Association.
Oh, Big Soda. You guys know what a huge fan I am of Big Pharma and, big government and big tech. Now we've got Big Soda. I think that's the 32-ounce ones. I think they call it Big Glup, is it pronounced? I don't know.
And they wanted to make sure that they continue these sales. They don't really care about the health of American children. And so one of the things that they did was...
Oh, my God. Sorry. So this guy is for sugar taxes, effectively, which I got news for you. Welcome to accidentally becoming a Democrat, dummy. If you want to make, healthier foods available both in schools and all that kind of stuff, welcome to being a Democrat. You can't bitch about it now. Republicans are all in on, we should pour fucking sugar water down these kids' throats to guarantee they're cannon fodder or factory workers so that they don't compete with my kid, right? That's the Trump methodology.
Deploy these lobbyists and quite easily, very easily, purchase Washington, D.C.
Well, now it's easy.
In a way that precluded any accountability here. It literally just glosses over it in the article. Oh, yeah, it was so easy. They just wrote a couple checks, and D.C. is good. Yeah.
Mark Mitchell, we're going to have you back on in a couple of days as the EBIT cards get cut off and this...
EBT cards. What EBIT? Where's the I come from? It's electronic banking transfer card, right? So, like, the B, it's a BA. It'd be EBAT, I suppose.
As you and Alex Jones are saying, this weekend could be quite turbulent.
Yeah, that's how you describe it. It's just turbulence. The Republican Party is going to become a vestigial tale because people believe the Democrats are the party of the working people, and which is obviously true. And Republicans can't hide from that, no matter how many ballrooms Trump builds, no matter how much time he spends golfing on his own fucking courses, no matter how many new golf courses he builds in places like Qatar and fucking Kuala Lumpur.
Tell me, stick the landing on the Guardian story, and then give me your coordinates so people can follow you, particularly on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. So big business has a problem. Maybe the government's going to cut off their corporate welfare, make it so that they can't buy sugary beverages on Snap, and they buy Washington.
No, they're not.
DC, no problem, easy. They do it all day long, every day, all day, every single company. But the problem is
every company, even competing ones. All right.
What happens when the states start passing legislation, and they're a lot harder to purchase. So they went to a vast network, according to The Guardian, of right-wing influencers, lobbyists. These are people that everybody knows in Republican circles in Washington, D.C.
Which obviously you aren't, because you're an independent and you're not really attached to anybody. You're not there to help any party. You're just there to report details. Yeah.
And even Republican pollsters. And what did they do? They spent $2 million.
Which you didn't get any, which is why you still have a computer from... I'm going 1996 on that one. I have a hard time believing that would crest the 2000s.
Polls that, drum roll, showed the exact results that they needed to bring it to Republican governors in order to get this legislation shut down. And what do they say? Well, look at this. MAGA people actually support people buying sugary beverages on Snap. I'm in the field with 2 nights out of 3 nights that show that no, absolutely, they really don't. Republicans actually don't support it, 60% to roughly 30%. And so this is a fake poll that Republicans use to influence Republican legislators and Republican governors.
Gee, these people sound terrible. I think we should probably keep them from being in charge of anything in the future. I think it would be best if these assholes left politics and business entirely. They sound shitty.
This is the party of big business, and this...
Right, yeah. Welcome to the party, pal.
This is why we're not seeing accountability, in my opinion, on literally everything.
Because Trump and the Republican Party?
Not on the elections, not on, not on all this stuff that's happened with COVID, not the healthcare industry. The healthcare industry is strangling our country. It's probably the biggest thing that we have to correct.
Yeah, but they give you a pill that helps with that. Are you feeling strangled? Try hands off a neck.
And there's zero chance it's going to get corrected. Why? Because the Republican Party is not going to focus on the things it needs to be. Fairness.
No. It's not because they're not going to focus on the things that need to happen. Excuse me. It's because they're for this. Stupid. This isn't like, oh my God, guys, you don't realize your policy is not being implemented. No, it's because this is their fucking policy, dipshit.
Accountability, a return to a high trust society based on morals and economic abundance. And that is not what their platform is. They despise the Make America Great Again movement. That has to change rapidly. And I don't know how it happens, but...
Yeah, I don't see it happening. Yeah, there's no... There's no way it changes. Nope. They don't dare.
What we're doing now is not enough. Donald...
It's not anything.
Trump basically out there on the front lines by himself.
Poor guy.
So hopefully this is a wake-up call.
Nope, it won't be.
Hopefully people get more aggressive. But the idea...
Aggressive? At what? Sucking?
Of just going out there and campaigning for Republicans that are going to change nothing. Well, in 10 or 20 years, when literally a majority of the country wants democratic socialists because the right failed, that's the future. Mamdani
Woof.
is the future. Yeah, he's probably lying to them, but at least he's going to take big swings. So if you want to,
God damn. It's like a men's group about ED where like they're swearing off meds and have just decided to let it hang. Like, you know what? I used to try all kinds of things. You know, I was trying to make up for it, but now I just feel like it's better to just come to terms with. I'm packing Play-Doh down there, and it's never gonna change. I got a fistful of silly putty, and nobody gives a shit. I'm just decided to live with it. Man. And again, like, keep in mind, this is that is Trump's favorite pollster. Let me ask you something, people in the chat room, wherever you are, on whatever outlet you're on. Has anybody else on our side of the media in this realm showed you this? Has anybody else played, even Midas Touch guys? I love those guys. But have they played these videos by the Rasmussen guy, Trump's favorite pollster, shitting the bed about this? Anybody? I'm the only guy. Because I go fucking digging around in this minefield looking for flowers. Looking for yams. That's a better mime digging analogy. This is what I think you need to see, because one of the reasons why a lot of people feel like there's no hope, or they get they feel overwhelmed or anxious about things, is because you're constantly aware of the damage that Donald Trump could be is and would want to do, and what it would be like if you ad absurdum extrapolated everything he was doing out to its illogical conclusion, right? That it would be bad, right? It's like they talk about Trump as a political entity like they talk about the caldera under Yellowstone. It'd be bad enough if it just erupted like a regular volcano, but it could blow the entire West Coast off the map, right? That's what you hear, okay? All of these news programs, which, by the way, information is valid and it's good to have it. Knock yourself out. But it tends to make you anxious. It tends to make you concerned. It tends to make you think there's really no hope, because you're not aware that they're having equal issues on their side, if not greater ones, and that Trump, there are people who watch the news and watch Trump say, I've got the greatest poll numbers I've ever had. And even if the host, whether it's Chris Hayes or somebody on CNN or something like that goes, actually he doesn't, they still don't believe it. And they go, he's going to act as if, and it's not going to have any impact on him at all. What this guy is pointing out is that it is having an impact. It is digging the hole deeper. It is, they're freaking the fuck out on their side, because they're looking, the chances of their midterms and certainly 2028 diminish by the day. And the cult of Donald Trump is a very real thing. And they did everything they could, especially Steve Bannon, to build this cult, to support it, and to make it a standalone monarchical style cult. And once he's gone, either not by running or just being too fucking sick to walk around, which is not far off. Again, this is not me wishing it on anybody. I'm just telling you the reality of somebody who's that much of a fucking mess and that old. It's going to get worse fast. They know this, and there's no plan B. So I want you guys to see this and know this and what's happening in and amongst them, so that you don't get this idea that they're impenetrable or that nothing's getting through to them. Because it's not true. The marches are having an impact. People are recognizing what Democrats are doing. Even, by the way, if people think on our side that Democrats aren't fighting hard enough, on the right, they think they're fighting too hard. Is that good? No plan B. Does that help us? I hope so. Yes, it's a good thing. I mean, I don't know who the next person in line is, but there's no Trump B. Right? There is no charismatic secondary leader to take over. Right? There's no Kim Jong Donald. That's it. Look at JD Vance is a fucking dweeb, people. There is no recourse. There is no alternate reality where somehow he charms all of MAGA and they're like, bro, he's like the next Elon. Think of all the bullshit, ridiculous things they believe about Donald Trump. That he's a bootstrapper and that he's a self-made man and he's a genius and that he wrote The Art of the Deal and that he even knows what's fucking in it. That he's a Christian. That the women who he has slept with in his life would have done it anyways if he didn't have money. The fuck out of here. It's ridiculous. You know that. I know that. But it sticks to some degree. Do you think you can transfer that onto JD Vance or Marco Rubio? Do you see MAGA going, well, at least, we may not have him anymore, but dude, about anybody. Who? Ted Cruz, he's running again. So, yeah. I just want you guys to know that this is, that this is a real struggle on their side. And all we got to do is keep the faith and keep building towards the kind of society you want, the kind of programs you want, and electing good people. Just keep at it because they are eating themselves alive. Here, I'll show you another version of that, ladies and gentlemen. This lady over here, this is Roseanne. I worked with her once on a show called America's Funniest Moms, where I was a judge and a host on this kind of last comic standing with female comedians. And she was one of the judges. And so I got to do, different shows, different towns, with her. And at one point, she was always kind of, but it was manageable, kooky. But then it went, full QAnon. She genuinely believes, and I want you to really consider this. She genuinely believes that Hillary Clinton drinks the blood of slaughtered babies. And that she and Huma Abedin are lesbian lovers who slaughter these babies and drip the blood all over themselves in an attempt to stay magically young. Because adrenochrome, is the new retatrutide or GLP-1. She really believes this. Right? She really does. And she supported Donald Trump, the unrepentant rapist and sexual assaulter, over Hillary Clinton because of this belief. And she's all bought in on it. She's, so far, until the Epstein stuff, 100% in on Donald Trump. And arguably still is, thinks somebody else is pulling the strings. Somebody else is making him stop. Well, now, this is, Candace is crawling up everybody's ass. This is this guy, Josh Hammer, who allegedly was texting with Charlie Kirk before he got killed or was at these meetings about, AIPAC or whatever. But Candace Owens accused me of murder inside the MAGA Civil War with Josh Hammer. Inside, I want you to contemplate those words from a lady who believes that Hillary Clinton eats fucking babies. Inside the MAGA Civil War. Now, I've heard there's a civil war coming any day now because it's going to be the left against the right and Antifa versus the Proud Boys, and it's going to be open warfare on our streets. We've heard this a bunch of times. But the only one that's actually seemed to be turned into a hot war in some ways is this current MAGA Civil War.
The reason that I think that these malicious actors, the Candace Owenses of the world, the reason that they're engaging in
I feel you, Candace. When Chen called me the Hal Sparkses of the world, it stings.
This revisionist history is because they are trying to make a play for the future of Charlie Kirk's legacy and how he will be remembered, and specifically the direction of Turning Point USA. I think that is cynically where they went.
Right. So she believes this about his assassination, not because she's a grade A nut job, but mainly because she plans on taking over Turning Points USA so that she can seize control of the remnants of MAGA. Okay.
I think so too, because they think that the groypers are the way that are the wave of the future, don't
The groypers are the Nick Fuentes followers, by the way.
they? They think Nick Fuentes is the next leader of the minds of the American youth, don't they? And they're trying to head that off or get a piece of it.
Yes, that is a.
By the way, Roseanne supports almost everything Nick Fuentes has ever said. Just for the record. I want you to know that. I want you to know that if you took like some of his worst fucking quotes completely out of context and with no attachment to who said them, and you presented them to Roseanne, she would agree with them. So this idea that she's even at odds, including, by the way, the leaders of Israel and their behavior and that kind of stuff, that she's, he's just full on, like, she says more shit about like real and fake Jews than he does.
Essentially the wager they're making when Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes spar, as they sometimes do, they're essentially competing for market share. They're essentially competing for market share in the fringe.
Yeah, like Roseanne does with Gary Busey.
Gutter of.
In those Skinamax movies they now shoot for the over 75 crowd.
I'm
kidding. That's not a thing.
I hesitate to even call it the right because there's nothing particularly rightist or conservative about it.
It's not conservative at all. In fact, if you really listen to them, they sound like the radical left of the.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's the thing. Nick Fuentes isn't awful because of the racist shit he says or the anti-Jew stuff that he says, the anti-gay stuff. It's because he's basically like he's like a slightly less anti-Semitic Zoran Mamdani. That's the way you look at him.
Don't they?
100%. I honestly, I listen. Not that I spend I don't listen to every Tucker show start to finish. I mean, I would probably be in the crazy ward if I did. But whenever I pause to listen to a clip of Tucker Carlson these days, I struggle to identify a single issue that he is genuinely conservative on, other than, I guess, immigration. I think he still believes in national.
Why? And also, why would that be conservative? Why is being abjectly bigoted considered conservative? Why is that? I mean, like, Democrats believe in a functioning, strong border. We also just think there should be an asylum system that works and that's legit. We also know that there are seasonal workers needed here that should be able to work and go home and come back without, like, having the sort of Damocles over their head, so that somebody can't just hold them hostage by keeping their fucking passport, so that if they try to leave, they'll never get back and their family will starve, or they get stuck here and they're forced to work more than they agreed to because they don't have any recourse and it's not like they can call the cops. Is the difference between conservative and liberal in this case is that liberals recognize complexity and are okay with working through that complexity, and conservative has now just become synonymous with knee-jerk panic?
Orders. Okay, maybe. But on virtually every other issue, I mean, Roseanne, he had this crazy recent episode where he's essentially...
The one where he got fucked at a truck stop by some trucker or whatever and then told his wife he was attacked by a demon? That one?
Offering apologia for Sharia law.
I know.
He's talking about how it's amazing in Abu Dhabi and the Emirates. Look, I've been to Abu Dhabi. It's a very pretty city. That doesn't mean Sharia law is good. He's saying it's amazing in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I mean, is he making common cause with the Islamists? I mean, is that what his pay masters want? Yeah,
absolutely. He thinks it's great.
Just for the record, let me catch you up. The QAnon lady and the conservative writer dude who was all locked into Turning Points USA are now arguing that Tucker Carlson is an Islamist or is Islamist adjacent. Mm-hmm.
That you can beat your wife if she doesn't, submit properly and fast enough. That's what he's saying. And
right, but you support Russia that just legalized domestic violence. So why can't you guys get along?
That upsets me greatly. It just about makes me go absolutely off the handle. I can't believe he's
almost
saying that.
Why? It's clear he's not enjoying having to have a wife.
But actually, Sharia law is based on fiefdom. So he's a billionaire, and I guess he's joined that class where they dig fiefdom. They dig that pyramid with like 300 sheiks and people at the top and everybody else.
Yeah, the elites, the ones they pretend to go against, but he is. You do realize his house isn't really made out of wood, right? Except it's a facade to present this kind of down home idea when he's a multi-millionaire.
This is a serf. So I guess that's what he's really talking about. And it's just so anti-American. And then he turns around and says, America first. What? Islam is an imperialist, globalist ideal. It's an ideology of
right. That's why he's found common cause with them. Sure.
Global. It isn't America first, and Sharia law that isn't anything to do with America first. I mean, he talks out of both sides of his mouth, as does.
Yeah, for a living. Are you just waking up to this? It's fucking Tucker Carlson, lady.
Candace Owens. But I think they're globalists.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the great ironies of our time, right? Is that people that are essentially taking the China, Russia, Iran, North Korea line.
Right.
You are. What do you mean, right? You are. Dipshit. You've been pro-Russia this whole time. Ukraine's full of Nazis, remember? They deserve whatever they get. You support the Bucha rape squads. Right, she says.
Somehow call themselves America first.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, every individual is different. I mean, Candace Owens,
I'm not.
Whatever it's worth, my read on her is that she actually has gone down the Louis Farrakhan Nation of Islam rabbit hole. I think she probably went down that rabbit hole around the same time as Kanye West, if I had to guess.
Yes, absolutely. And Dave.
Why? Because she's black? In reality, she's just become more hardcore Catholic, and that's where she got it from.
Well, too, he's down there.
Yes. So that's my read on her. Tucker, I think opinions may vary. I think at least at a bare minimum.
Nah, everybody knows he's a douchebag. Well, I guess that's not an opinion.
Something that's going on with Tucker. I mean, to be clear, it's very hard to conclude that Tucker is anything other than an anti-Semite at this point. I mean, I think he's probably...
And scene. Oh, it's so good. Hi, welcome back, Kelly. I know. Mm-hmm. They're losing the plot entirely. I know. There is no plot at this point. Like, how the fuck? All right. So let's see. Oh yeah. Let's drop in my last few moments with you, and then, by the way, tomorrow no show because I have the Jam tomorrow night, and then I'll be doing the rest of the shows from L.A. the rest of the week. And then Friday, I've got my show at Flappers. For those of you that are in the area and you want to come down and you're a Patreon subscriber, or please let them know. There's a little list that has my Patreon people, and they just, if you show up, you're like, I'm Patreon, you get a +1 at all my live shows. And I've worked that out up to a certain limit. I think, I don't know, maybe it's like 10 or 15, depending on with Sexy Liberal if we do those again. But like at Nerd Halen shows and stuff, and I'm able to do that now without it eating into, kicking food out of the other guys' mouths, which I don't want to do ever, right? Sorry, Roseanne first told she had a multiple personality disorder in '94. Says not switching between somebody and nobody. That's bullshit. She was just, quite frankly, using drugs and losing track of her ability to think while using them. It's just whatever. Anyways, so that said, Friday night, that show, and then tomorrow night, yes, the point is to bleach your taint. I agree. Absolutely. Don't try to iron your butthole, though. Just don't ever use wrinkle cream on it. It's just, I'm not going to tell you how I know. All right. Nice, Hawk. Hopefully you will again. I'm trying to get Steph into doing shows. I mean, the midterms mean a lot. We ought to be doing these things, people. Even if it's just me and John and Frangela, we're going to do some shows. Damn it. All right, so Rand Paul is the son of Ron Paul, and Ron Paul's Liberty Report, which is ironically named, I understand, is having a real hard time understanding why the fuck Trump is somehow not a populist. He doesn't seem to care about working people or, the non-elites. Is that a thing? Or sure. Empire First is America Last. Farmers Edition. That's right. Apparently, because as I pointed out this morning, there's no farm bill, they're kind of fucked right now. And it's going to get worse. Oh, there's an ad.
Milks to avoid.
Frog milk.
Does it make you fat? That's an easy one. That's almond.
Be honest. How many times have you looked in the mirror and wished your smile looked different? Now imagine fixing that in 30 seconds.
Oh dear.
Without a single dentist visit. Sounds wild, but over 100,000 people have already done it. While dentists charge $30,000 for veneers that destroy your real teeth forever, this breakthrough gives you the same Hollywood smile for under...
That's the case, haven't we had the Department of Ed...
My goodness. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. Please, can we get him a fucking, like a giant hat so he can look like a sidekick from a Western?
Agriculture for a long time. Don't we pump a lot of money into there, a lot of planning, a lot of fancy economists that can tell the government what they ought to do and what they should charge? Unfortunately, there's way too many. Agriculture could be...
How many should there be? What's the exact number?
A lot better off if they had a lot less government planning.
That's right, Dr. Paul.
Ouch. God damn, that's loud. They don't really have a lot of government planning. They have a lot of government support. And then they have taken that government support and run with it to because there's this big focus on we need to bring exports up and imports down. And so it doesn't matter where it comes from, especially when it's Trump, is that as long as we're exporting stuff and no matter what that good is, and it creates more parity with imports, it'll somehow look like you're doing better for the economy instead of you're just making shit here nobody wants and selling it someplace where someone desperately needs it. Doesn't mean you're going to get a good profit on it. And this goes to soybeans specifically.
Yeah, President Trump is we're very disappointed in the path that he has chosen because there was only...
sorry.
What they ought to do.
Sorry, run that by me again.
And what they should charge. Unfortunately, there's way too many. Agriculture could be a lot better off if they had a lot less government planning.
I'm gonna enjoy this guy's quote. 1 second. I'm gonna try to simmer down.
Right, Dr. Paul. Yeah, President Trump is we're very disappointed in the path that he has chosen because...
You mean the one he said he was going to do, obviously and stupidly, all during the campaign? Shit he talked about doing and he did the last time. This time he was going to do more of it. You mean that part, that shit that you specifically voted for?
There was only two choices when he was elected. It's A, try to save the failed American empire, or B, try, there's no guarantee to save America itself, the American people.
What the fuck are you talking about? How the fuck is voting for Harris saving the American empire. That's just fucking odd. It literally, they just simply have, somebody just, I was about to say flipped a switch in their brain and made A, B, B, and A, but it feels like they just have a dial turned the wrong direction.
And they are not the same. You have to
Yeah, we know. That's why we voted for Harris.
choose one or the other.
Right, and you chose poorly.
Empire or America. And unfortunately, Trump has chosen to try to save the failed empire like Mikhail Gorbachev did. He failed.
Mikhail Gorbachev tried to save the American empire?
He could not save the Soviet Union.
I see. All right, got it, sure.
And as a result,
yeah, but it wasn't based on anything else. Like that would be equivalent to trying to save the United States. A little closer to what Lincoln was doing, trying to make sure everybody stayed together even during the Civil War.
of this mentality, everything has to be focused on empire, outside, everything that's outside, whether...
What? No, Trump is here in the country working really hard on Americans' problems with healthcare, and I'm fucking with you. He's in Kuala Lumpur making a deal for a new golf course.
It's Israel, whether it's still Ukraine, everything is focused on what is going on out there and not here. We had this one stung big time for the...
Oh, it did? Did it hurt?
American people, and that's this bailout of Argentina.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, but, Harris probably would have done it like twice as much. Oh, sorry, what? Trump did it twice as much. He went from 20 billion initially to 40, and they still made a deal and sold soybeans to China and undercut the American farmer. It's weird. Harris probably would have.
At the expense of not only taxpayers, as always, but American farmers who are suffering greatly already. And President Trump...
We're not even through the first year yet. Oh, just you wait, guys.
When you're empire first, sorry, that comes first rather than what is going on in here. And to add insult to injury to our...
Do you really need it? Isn't injury enough?
Farmers, President Trump posted a couple days ago, October 22nd, quote, "The cattle ranchers who I love don't understand the only reason they're doing so well for the first time in decades is because I put tariffs on cattle coming into the United States, including 50% tariff on Brazil. If it weren't for me, they would be doing just as they've done for the past 20 years, terrible." So the cattle ranchers, they're all screaming, why are you doing this to us? And he's saying, you've never had it better. It's because of me that you're doing so great. I mean, it's a thing to watch, but it's real. This is what is happening.
Yes. It never occurred to you that maybe, and I know this might come as a shock, but it never occurred to you that you might be a dipshit and that anybody else could see this a long way off, and we all knew this was going to happen. A, because he fucking said so. We knew he would do it, and we knew it wouldn't work because it never has, and there's no material reason why it would. That just didn't come up. Just not that didn't run through your empty fucking dome at any point.
And, as trying to save the empire, like Gorbachev, we're going to suffer because they're trying to save the unsavable, and, America comes last.
What we're dealing.
That's right. America comes last because Trump only needs like 30 seconds.
This is why you shouldn't buy just one Masato knife.
I'm not going to buy one Masato. I'm not buying any Masato knives, actually. I've just got to close that window because it keeps jumping over there. All right. Do I have time for one more thing? Probably not. Yep. I don't have time. Yeah, well, hold on. I might hang out. I mean, I've got like 15 minutes left. Hold on. Let me jump right in here real quick. Well, this is shorter. Here we go. When his meeting with Lula, which is pretty hilarious. Open up, you weird little... Where'd it go? There it is. Trump just got tired of like he just wanted to take a bunch of questions because and I'll show you this. Some people have seen a little bit of this. This is Lula, the Brazilian president, and Trump, and they're negotiating partners, whatever. And they're going to actually have a meeting about their trade stuff after the press leaves. And Lula's basically like, why are we answering? You're going to see what we do, and you won't have to ask us. You're not going to make business decisions based on what we say we want. You're going to make business decisions based on what we actually accomplish. So how about fuck off? Let us have the actual meeting where shit actually gets done, and we'll live with the consequences. And Trump's like, nope, I want to be seen as doing the stuff without actually accomplishing any of it, and claim that I made a deal whether it made it or not. So this is him. President Trump participates in a pull-aside with the president of Brazil, which sounds like death by masturbation, but death by circle jerk. It's a pull-aside. But at one point, Lula just gets tired of the questions.
Mr. President, are you convinced, or were you convinced by the Brazilian government that the reasons you presented to impose tariffs on Brazil were not fair?
Also, if you're supposedly 6'3", why are you the same height as Lula?
No, I think everything's fair. Look, we have...
I mean, granted, he's got like a munchkin throne because he's got like 2 cushions in there so he can at least sit and look on the same level. But Trump's not sitting on a fucking footstool.
Economies, and I have a lot of respect for your president, as you know. A lot of respect for Brazil.
As we know. Based on what?
So we'll see. We'll probably work out some deals. I'll leave these guys work them out, but I think we're going to work out some deals. We have to get certain things. Wait, who's that shouting? Who's shouting? Is that you? Don't shout. Don't shout. Who was? Well, first of all, let me just say it's a great honor to be with the president of Brazil. It's a great country. It's a big, beautiful country, and I think they're doing well. I think they're doing very well, from what I understand. And
what did you hear? What did somebody tell you? Captain of the talking out of your ass team. What did you hear? What do you understand? What was the big push? The fact that we need beef and they have it or something, just like Argentina has it? I think we should be able to make some pretty good deals for both countries, and I'm going to leave that a little bit to Jameson and Scott and Marco and I'm going to go have a nap and you guys do the thing. Different ways, Marco, less on the economic stuff. You could do it very well, but I don't think you'll have to. But I think we'll have... It's the Secretary of State, stupid. Statecraft has a huge part of this. The tariffs, the relationship with the countries. He's not... All right. I think we'll be able to do some pretty good deals. We've been speaking, and I think we'll end up having a very good relationship. We always have had a good relationship. I think it'll... No, we have not.
Presidente Lula, o senhor ficou satisfeito com o encontro, presidente?
Olha, eu acredito que, primeiro, a imprensa vai ter boas notícias depois que terminar a reunião.
I think the press will have good news after we end the
Antes
meeting.
de começar a reunião, são só suposições.
It's only assumptions before we start the meeting.
Brasil tem todo interesse.
It's only assumptions before we start the meeting. Like, the guy talks sense. I just gotta give it to him.
Ter uma relação extraordinária com os Estados Unidos.
Brazil is highly interested to have an extraordinary relationship with the U.S.
Não há nenhuma razão para que haja qualquer desavença entre Brasil e Estados Unidos.
There's no reason for having any kind of conflict between Brazil and the
O que nós temos
U.S.
certeza é que na hora que 2 presidentes sentam numa mesa
I believe that when 2 presidents
e
sit
cada
around the
coloca
table
o seu ponto de vista,
and each one raises their viewpoint,
cada coloca os seus problemas, a tendência natural.
By the way, how's his translator like that character actor from the 60s that was all like on Star Trek and all those movies, and all those TV shows? You guys know exactly. You can hear the translator's voice and you know exactly who I'm talking about.
and then we can forward to reach a deal afterwards.
E eu estou convencido, eu disse antes de chegar aqui,
And I am
eu
convinced, and
estava
I said before I
otimista.
came here,
Eu estava muito otimista com a possibilidade de nós avançarmos, sabe, na manutenção da relação mais civilizada possível entre Brasil e Estados
I was
Unidos.
very optimistic
E pretendemos
to
manter.
advance the relationship between Brazil
Eu não
and
sei
the
se o
US.
presidente Trump vai ter tempo, mas eu tenho uma
I don't know
longa
if
pauta para
President
discutir com
Trump
os Estados
will
Unidos.
have time, but I have an
É uma
agenda to
pauta
discuss with
muito
him.
longa.
I don't know if he has time, but I have an agenda to discuss with him. I'd rather do that than answer questions from the press about shit we haven't even done yet. Is what he sent you.
Eu trouxe
Essentially
por
saying.
escrito.
I bought it in writing.
Vou lhe passar a cópia da minha
I'll give
pauta
you
em
a copy
inglês
of our agenda already in English. If I
para
don't have
saber
time
se o
to...
presidente quer discutir.
Already in English, because I know Spanish and Portuguese both make you panic.
Todos os
I
assuntos
don't know
que
if
eu
we'll
tenho.
have time to discuss all the issues here. So probably not. That's why I brought it in writing.
No mais,
Mr. President, you said yesterday that under the right conditions, you would reduce the tariffs on Brazil. What are those conditions?
We're dealing on it right now, and we'll be discussing it for a little while, and I think we'll probably come to a conclusion pretty quickly. We know.
Because we know what we're doing is kind of bullshit.
We know each other. We know what
Very well.
each other wants. I think we'll come to a conclusion. I think we'll come to a lot of conclusions this week.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, yeah. I mean, you haven't already?
It's been a very big week. We concluded a war just now. We just had the official signing, and it was
Really? So there's no more fighting after you signed the piece of paper?
that was a great honor. That's actually why we came here. We had Cambodia and Thailand and really lots of others. We've done 8, and we're looking to do number 9, which would be Russia and Ukraine. So we've done a lot of.
Good God.
Please.
You watch, he's like, look at Lula. He's like, what are we doing here? Fuck is happening? Can we move on, please?
What are y'all feeling about Mr. Bolsonaro, Mr. President?
Well, I've always liked him. I feel very badly about what happened to him. I've always thought he was a straight shooter, but he's gone through a lot.
Is this on the agenda today?
He's gone through a lot.
Is this on the table today?
It's none of your business.
What about China, Mr. President? Are you concerned about
Is it on the table today?
Brazil's relation with China and its privilege?
No, I think we're going to do well with China. I think we're going to have a deal with China. We meet, as you know, in South Korea with President Xi. I think we're going to have a good deal with China, and they want to make a deal, and we want
Yeah, on about what exactly?
to make a deal. We've agreed to meet. We're going to meet then later in China, and we're going to meet in the U.S. in either Washington or at Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach. So now I think a lot of these talks.
Wait, who are you meeting? What, Xi Jinping's going to come to Mar-a-Lago? Is that the idea? I don't think so.
We want to make a deal. We've agreed to meet. We're going to meet then later in China, and we're going to meet in the U.S. in either Washington or at Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach. So now I think a lot of these talks where we meet, we've done a lot of discussions before we meet. We've done discussions with Brazil. So I think we're going to end up having a good deal for both countries. I think with China that's going to happen, and we have other.
Oh God, get on with it.
We have Japan, we have South Korea, we have a lot of meetings, but people seem to be very interested in China. I think we're going to have a very fair meeting with China. Yes.
Look at Lula's like, come on, man. Can we I don't care about your meetings with anybody else, dipshit. I've only got limited options here. Hold on one second. I'm getting messages of the fig. Hold on, where are you? There we go. This little thing's starting up or not? Can't tell. Trying to get something to sync up, and it's being weird.
Can you lift some of the tariffs today on Brazil? Brazil is requesting.
Yeah, we can do things fast. We move quickly. We're very nimble.
Apparently not.
We're very
Does
nimble.
that mean suspending the tariffs?
Do you plan to discuss the situation?
Not you again, please.
Is there a deadline?
The woman.
Are you discussing your actions in Venezuela today? Is there anything you're asking the Brazilians?
I don't think we're going to be discussing Venezuela. They're not involved with Venezuela. They're not doing what Venezuela does. You know, I would discuss, if they want to, I'll discuss it. But no, I don't think we're going to be discussing it.
Tá na pauta, presidente. Venezuela.
Yeah, please, in the back.
Mr. President, besides Bolsonaro,
Lula's about to launch himself out of the chair to attack somebody.
is there anything that Brazil can offer to improve relations with the U.S.?
We're going to find out in probably 15 minutes. It'll go very quickly. They can offer a lot, and we can offer a lot. It's good, and it's good for both countries. Please.
Mr. President, with you in Asia making all of these deals in China's backyard, what should they take away from the strong U.S. presence in this region?
I don't think they should take away anything. I think we're going to have a good deal with China. I think we're going to make a deal. It's going to be great for China, great for us. I mean, you know, we have a lot of things that are good for both. And
nope.
We know pretty much. We've been dealing with China. You know, we don't just meet in a vacuum. We've had a lot of discussions. Jameson, Scott, Howard, Marco on different things.
Definitely not. So Peter Navarro not meeting with anybody, just for the record. Never comes up.
We've had a lot of discussions with China. We have with Brazil, too. We're not walking into...
So what does Peter Navarro do? Does he just go meet with Rotary clubs or just, like, sleep on Steve Bannon's couch?
The room like with no knowledge. We're walking in with great knowledge, and the meetings don't even have to take that long, frankly. We know pretty much where we are, and we know where they are.
Mr. President, is the negotiation with Brazil political or...
Eu queria sugerir que você
Can we get over this bullshit and move on, please?
fizesse a entrevista depois da reunião.
I would like to suggest that the press will continue the interview after the meeting.
Só fala com a gente depois da reunião, presidente.
Depois da reunião, não sei se você quer falar. Mas
I like that. It's good. It's good. So you actually think you should do the work first before you should boast about it? That's weird. That's cute.
Porque nós temos pouco tempo e daqui a pouco o tempo se perdeu porque nós ficamos conversando com
We don't
vocês, nós
have
temos
much
que fazer a
time, and
entrevista.
we'll waste time or lose time
Esse é o dilema.
talking with the journalists. So we have a lot
Esse é o
of
dilema. Se vocês tiverem paciência, vocês saberão o resultado da reunião.
patience, you'll know the results of the
Se
meeting.
ficarem agoniados, vocês vão saber.
You'll know what'll happen after the fuck it's gonna be done in 20 minutes. Just give us a little time.
É apenas suposições nossas. Esse é o dilema. Então sugiro que a gente comece a nossa reunião.
They're not great questions today, I must say. You know, it's sort of boring questions. But we'll see you later. Thank you.
They're boring questions. No, they're not. You would have taken questions all fucking day, dummy, because you'd rather talk about the job than do the job. What an asshole. All right, so that ate up our last little bit. I just wanted to show that. God damn. What a waste of time. And Trump is over, you know, I guess at the ASEAN, and of course you guys saw him with his weird little dance. He came down the thing. He is currently, just so you know, he is petrified that he's going to fall down the stairs. There you go. This is, ladies and gentlemen, look out. Look out. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, one more, and then, okay, made it. All right, thank you. I'm gonna kiss the ground before. Thanks very much. So, are you the manager? Is that why you're wearing that hat, or should we do that? I think it's wonderful. Ha ha ha. Oh, we joke or whatever. Who are these people? I want to dance with these people. Look at that. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen.
Guns and thongs and faster thongs, whoa, I love that feeling. Simple hoods have got the goods, owie, owie, owie. Guns and thongs and faster thongs, whoa, I love that feeling. Simple hoods have got the goods, owie, owie, ow. Boink, boink, dooby-doo, you know what I wanna do. Yay! Boink, boink, dooby-doo, you know what I wanna do. Buster.
Seems like he's having a great time. say for the record, his little weird like jerk off dance has become mental floss. Like he's got a piece of rope in one ear and he's running it through the rest of it, and it's about 3 beats behind, but you know, shit happens. Look at these people who are doing that thing, and hello, and yes, I wonderful. Look at this, I'm holding the flags, and I don't even know which one is ours. Okay, yeah, and there we are, and handshake, and this is way better than the Putin one, because you're not going to expect me to blow you in the car. And then he gives him a ride in the beast. That's his new thing, is that he gives these guys a ride in the beast. Bye. I'm going away to a place for Donnie. Bye. See you later. Okay, and they fly the beast over. There you go, and then he goes. That's it. That's the whole thing. Yeah, he's just stroking the elephant. I don't think so. Yeah, there was definitely no moonwalk there. I don't ever expect him to be able to do that. He can barely just walk. So again, no show tomorrow, you guys. I'm driving to LA in the morning to do the jam night, and so I'll have a rehearsal, or I'll have a sound check. Anyways, not rehearsal, but sound check right in the middle of when my show would, time out, and then regular shows on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'll do the morning show, and then Friday afternoon show will probably be punted because I have to drive from Irvine all the way to Burbank for the show, and it's LA. So what should take 45 minutes will take 3 hours. So appreciate you guys. If I could put an early show on tomorrow, I will. But most of the time, I just have a bunch of work to do in the afternoon. It's difficult. So, anyways, yeah, love you guys. Appreciate it, and I will see you. I just want to remind everybody, what did we learn today? What did we learn today? We learned that the right wing is not in this, protected by a golden dome of MAGA. They are breaking apart under their own weight. Their expectations, the things we knew were patently obvious about Trump, they are late to the party on. And they're waking up to it. Do I think they're going to come around to our side in this process? No, not for a long time. Do I think they're going to wake up to him being full of shit and maybe just sit one out next year? Just watch for whatever they boogeyman and don't play into it. Don't give them any ammunition, ever. This is why I think my message to all Democratic governors and city officials, if you are going to have an ICE, if ICE makes a presence in your city and you have a facility and you're worried about people, demonstrating, move the perimeter back way away so that the National Guard troops are A, not harmed, and B, basically standing around with their thumb up their ass. So you guys are awesome, and I will see you guys later. Which song should I go out on tonight? I feel like, I think this will work. I think it works. All right. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And I'll see you soon.
He's snarky, smart, and always by your side. It's Hal Sparks, Megaworldwiide. News, laughs, and righteous sass. Kicks fake news right in the facts. So smash that like and don't be shy. Subscribe now.